Good evening, you're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Farhana Sheikh. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim advises members of his administration to continue striving for the people and never fall into a culture of complacency. He made this comment during his administration's one-year anniversary interview earlier tonight.
Dia jangan kita ada tahap selesa. Dia seperti mana yang saya popularkan baru-baru ini karya Galbraith, culture of contentment. Kadang-kadang bila dia pemimpin, semuanya terbaik. Sistem pendidikan nombor 1, kesihatan terbaik. Ini kita dengar dulu. Tapi sebenarnya bila lihat kenyataan, tandas pun tak dapat diperbaiki. Sekolah-sekolah banyak yang robek. Jadi jangan kita termakan dengan penyakit keselesaan. Ikutannya saya, kita buat sedaya upaya, tapi jangan kita anggap ini terlalu baik. Ada lagi keupayaan kita untuk membersihkan dan meningkatkan mutu kerja, etika kerja, kerana akhirnya bukan angka yang disebut tadi, angka pertumbuhan, angka inflasi rendah, tidak siapa boleh pertikai. Walaupun kita disanggah sebagai gagal, tapi ternyata inflasi kita lebih baik, pertumbuhan lebih baik, kadar pengangguran semuanya lebih baik. Tetapi ukuran sebenarnya itu di peringkat angka umbi. Rakyat masih belum merasakan keselesaan yang sepatutnya.
The government will prioritize civil servants in the technical sector in the ongoing review of the public service remuneration system. Speaking at the National Technical Professions Day 2023, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim assured that more would be done to recognise the important role of civil servants in technical profession in the national development agenda.
Bukan perubahan sikit-sedikit bagi alam tambahan bagi teknikal, tidak. Dia mesti melihat bagaimana keperluan negara masa ini ketimbang keperluan negara 20 tahun dulu dalam peranasan gaji. Maka keutamaannya adalah untuk mengangkat, sementara bidang profesion lain termasuk perkhidmatan awam umumnya itu sangat diperlukan, tetapi pendekanan terhadap golongan dan profesi teknikal juga sangat mendesak.
Anwar, who is also the finance minister, had also asked the technical profession governing body to submit input relating to salary adjustment through the system. Last month, he announced that the government would prepare a new set of guidelines by the first quarter of 2024 to facilitate the new salary scheme for the civil sector. He said the existing policy was to conduct a salary adjustment study every 10 years, but the civil sector is already entering its 12th year. Malaysia has seen a rise in the number of sexual harassment complaints lodged by men. Deputy Women, Family and Community Development Minister Aiman Atira Sabu says of the total 1,486 complaints of sexual harassment received through social support sectors, 411 cases or 27.7% are male victims.
Aiman Atira said this while answering a question about the effectiveness of the ministry's advocacy for the anti-sexual harassment program. According to her, 97.6% of participants of the program showed an increase in sexual harassment knowledge and understanding. She added that the ministry has implemented 14 series of the program's roadshow involving almost 19,500 participants. She said a number of advocacy programs were held with private companies and NGOs to raise awareness about sexual harassment. A total of 54 advocacy programs involving over 9,000 participants were implemented in collaboration with various parties, including the Congress of Unions of Employees in Public and Civil Services (QPACS) and the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health (NIOSH).
Meanwhile, the Transport Ministry is studying the mechanism to provide subsidies to ensure flight ticket prices between the Peninsula and Sarawak and Sabah are not too high during the festive season. Its Minister Anthony Loh says airline companies have also been asked to add more late-night flights during the period. Lok said 209 million ringgit has been allocated under Budget 2024 to cover the operational and aircraft leasing for the Rural Air Services (RAS) for Sabah and Sarawak. According to him, although mass wings will be taken over by Hornbill Skyways, the Transport Ministry will still be responsible in setting the RAS's public service obligation, which includes continuing annual subsidies, especially for residents of rural areas in Sabah and Sarawak. The government had in May capped airfare from Peninsular Malaysia to Sabah and Sarawak at 300 ringgit, excluding fees and taxes, for Keamatan and Gawai. In other news, foreign tourists will be required to fill out the Malaysia Digital Arrival Card (MDAC) 3 days before their arrival beginning December 1st. However, Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said Singaporean passport holders and selected pass holders from Brunei, Thailand and Indonesia are exempted from doing so. Saifuddin said the decision to exempt certain passport holders to fill up the MDAC were due to the distinctive mobility patterns of travellers who cross the country's borders virtually every day. According to Saifuddin, MDAC is among efforts made to improve immigration facilities and ensure that national security is not compromised following the implementation of the visa liberalisation plan. Saifuddin said that after December 31st, it would be compulsory for foreign tourists to fill up the MDAC ahead of time, as it would contain all the necessary information on their whereabouts in the country. For the time being, they will be able to do so at the country's entry checkpoints. The National Scam Response Centre, NSRC, has recorded over 36,000 fraudulent calls in October alone. Deputy Communications and Digital Minister Teo Ni Ching says such scams remain prevalent despite multiple efforts to raise public awareness.
As at October 2023, the total numbers of calls received by NSRC is 58,980 calls, and out of it, 22,670 calls are genuine calls. And the total amount of reported losses is 203 million ringgit. So that is the figure we got from NSRC where MCMC participated.
According to Teo, online scams were most rampant on Telegram, WhatsApp and Facebook. She said these included fake job opportunities, false products and services asking people to download mobile applications from unknown sources. We will go for a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Ucapkan selamat tinggal kepada gangguan perkhidmatan apabila anda mendaftar auto debit dengan Astro.
Rasa macam dah jatuh cinta.
Anda akan menikmati penstriman hiburan tanpa gangguan dan berpeluang memenangi iPhone 15 Pro setiap bulan. Mudah saja. Hanya daftar melalui aplikasi My Astro dan iPhone 15 Pro baharu mungkin milik anda.
Apa jua yang berlaku di sekeliling kita, pastinya ada punca dan kesan masing-masing. Faktor harga ekonomi, pengaruh politik dalam atau luar negara memberikan impak kepada kehidupan harian kita. Di Niaga Awani kami memberikan gambaran jelas melalui analisis mendalam, merentas pelbagai segmen dan latar belakang. Kami akan bantu anda untuk faham segalanya. Bisnes, ekonomi, pasaran, Niaga Awani, 9 pagi Isnin hingga Jumaat, hanya di Astro Awani.
Welcome back. Here are updates on Gaza. Gaza civilians in Khan Yunis are leaving the southern city, heading south to Rafah to seek safety from Israeli attacks. This as Israeli forces pressed ahead with air and ground bombardment of the southern Gaza Strip, with about 900 people killed since the truce ended last Friday. On Monday, Israel ordered people out of the areas in the south, including parts of Khan Yunis. But as the military resumed its offensive, people in Gaza say there is nowhere safe to go. Many are being displaced for a second or third time since October 7th. Meanwhile, at least 50 people have been killed by Israeli attacks on the Nusayrat refugee camp in central Gaza and Khan Yunis in southern Gaza on Tuesday. Dozens of wounded were reportedly rushed to the city's Nasir hospital. "14 people have died in Thailand after a double-decker bus veered off the road and smashed into a tree. 32 others were injured following the crash in the country's western province of Prachuap-Khiri-Khan. Photos online showed the bus leaning on its side and its front split in half with parts of the tree wedged in it. Rescuers were seen pulling passengers out from the wreckage. Thailand has one of the highest road accident rates globally, with thousands of deaths yearly. According to the country's road accidents data center, last year some 15,000 people lost their lives on Thailand's roads. In 2021, traffic-related incidents made up almost a third of total deaths in the country, according to the World Health Organization. The death toll from a volcano eruption in Indonesia has risen to 22 after 9 more bodies were found today. The volcano is still erupting as of this afternoon, and 1 person remains missing as the days-long search draws to a close. Search and rescue teams are now working to bring the 9 bodies down the mountain. Mount Marapi on Sumatra Island had spewed a 3,000-meter tower of ash on Sunday, affecting around 75 hikers. Some were found alive, many with burns and fractures. Officials said the hikers had registered through an online booking system, but others may have been on illegal mountain routes. Forensic experts were also preparing to identify the dead through dental and fingerprint records based on marks on their bodies. Over in India, at least 9 people, including a child, were killed in flooding in southern India as heavy rain submerged roads. This comes just hours before a severe cyclone known as Cyclone Michuang was expected to make landfall.
According to officials, a 4-year-old boy died in Tirupati district after a wall fell, while 8 people were killed in neighboring Tamil Nadu state. Cyclone Michuang was expected to hit the coast of Andhra Pradesh state on Tuesday, as the weather office warned of gusting winds of up to 110 kilometers per hour. Meanwhile, parts of Andhra Pradesh is expected to be pelted with more than 200 millimeters of rain over the next 24 hours. At least 8,000 people have been evacuated so far.
Global warming is now closer than ever to reaching several climate tipping points in the Earth's system. This, as a result of the continued use of oil, gas and coal pushing greenhouse gas emissions higher, could trigger abrupt and irreversible impacts, endangering humanity and nature.
Tipping points are conditions beyond which changes become self-perpetuating. Examples of tipping elements are the Amazon rainforest or the Arctic ice, where if the temperature on Earth rises, these systems will be severely affected when a certain temperature is reached. In 2023, scientists said the Earth is already at 1.2 degrees Celsius of warming above the pre-industrial average. The Paris Agreement aims to hold global warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius and well below 2 degrees Celsius, which experts say is crucial for keeping Earth's systems in balance. The United Nations warned that current government policies put the world on track for 3 degrees Celsius of warming by 2100.
That wraps up AWANI tonight. I'm Farhana Sheikh. Thank you for watching.
Dua rekod perlawanan terakhir The Eagles dan The Reds